Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so we are recording this for YouTube. I would like to introduce you, people at home watching on YouTube, to Danny, who I met at Blackpool, and he blew me away. I told him that I was filming my vlog, and I said, your thing that I've just seen was the best thing I've seen at Blackpool. And there's so many magicians coming there doing this stuff. Maybe I didn't see some, I don't know, but Danny's was what I loved best. So that was my #1 effect. And maybe if you're lucky, he'll show it to you on this little video. But let's start with the introductions to Danny. So let's find out who Danny is, where he's from, what kind of magic he does. Danny, stage is yours. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm Danny. I'm from The Hague, the Netherlands. And yeah, doing magic for quite a long time. And yeah, just, as a kid, it's fun for a day, and then 2 days it's fun, and then for 3 weeks you don't touch anything. You're gonna play soccer, and you're gonna do other stuff that you're interested in, and then like the magic came back for one day, and then you did see something on television, or you got some inspiration, and you took the cards out, or the cups and balls, the magic sets we all have, and then you would play with it more, and then after 2 hours it's boring, and you put it away. Yeah. So that was the beginning. And yeah, when I was 18, I really started to dive deep in everything. Like, I wanted to know theory, I wanted to know methods, I wanted to perform. And after that, I was consulting for a Dutch television show.
Wow.
In Holland. Yeah, I did that for 5 years.
So you were only consulting, you weren't in front of the camera, you were always behind the camera?
No, I was behind the camera. Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, and I'm really interested in the mechanics of the magic. I love performing. I do perform a lot, but I'm really into the methods and how stuff works and why it works, and make little tweaks here and there to make the performance better.
Yeah. Well, excellent. So today's topic was on rubber band magic, and I put it up on Instagram. There's a few people who messaged me, and some people didn't do it. And I think they misunderstood it. They're like, oh, I want to get into rubber band magic, and I joined the chat. And I was like, well, it's not really a chat. If you do rubber band magic, then come on. But otherwise, just sit back and watch. So you, what's your main performance? So do you mainly consult, or do you perform also? And do you perform residencies, weddings?
No, yeah, I do close-up magic mostly, and yeah, it's I did consulting for 5 years, and yeah, I don't know if you know people who consult. It's a very hard, busy job, so you don't have any extra time to perform for yourself. So you're just constantly busy with the show you're working on. Yeah. But yeah, I try to do close-up when I go out and about, and I had some gigs here and there, and they're mostly close-up because I know that's my strength, and that's where I shine at close-up, and that's what I feel comfortable at doing. So that's mostly the thing I do. So
what was the first thing you got, since we're talking about elastic band magic, what's the first effect you learned in magic? Mine was the crazy man's handcuffs. That's what I learned first. And then something with the thumb where the elastic band penetrates your thumb. So what was the first thing that you learned?
As a whole effect, or as a rubber band effect?
No, just in rubber bands, since we're talking about rubber bands today. And but I think we definitely want to get you on this channel again when we're talking about creating magic, because you are a magician's magician, I think, and you're a creator. So we'll do another video with talking about creators in magic. But let's talk about rubber bands for this one.
Yes. So the first one is the old one where it starts at the 2 fingers, and then you shake, and it jumps to the other 2 fingers.
I have to rephrase my question, because that's the one, my answer, I mean, that's the one that I learned first too. So yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
That's the first rubber band magic that came into my rubber band magic life.
Right. And you don't do that these days, I'm guessing.
No. No, I do have a variation. I do sometimes.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah, I can show you.
Yeah, please. You can show me, yeah.
I hope you can see. So the band's here.
Yeah.
And then I will stretch it here. Yeah. And then I will shoot it.
Oh, that's so much better. I think it's the years of practice that make it look so much. I mean, I know what's happening there, but I think it just looks amazing. So yeah, it's great. So that was the first thing you learned. Do you have any heroes in elastic band magic as such? Like I know Dan Harlan is pretty big.
Yeah, Dan Harlan is big. Joe Rhineflesh, Bacon Fire, and Hansen Chen. Those
Hansen
are the
Chen,
guys.
yes, yes, I love Hansen Chen stuff. Yeah. Okay, so we've got somebody
Yeah.
else joining. We've got Toni. Um, Toni, hi, Toni.
Oh,
We
Hi
are
there.
filming this for YouTube. I
hi.
hope you don't mind. You are going to be on YouTube. It's not live. I'm going to be editing this later. So I was in the middle of talking about Danny, asking him his favorite magicians in rubber bands. But before we start with that, Toni, tell the YouTube people on YouTube watching this something about yourself. Which part of the world are you from, and what kind of magic you do?
Well, first of all, well, I'm from Austria. I'm originally from Bulgaria, but I live in Austria, and I am mainly doing coin magic. I love coins,
Okay.
and of course some close-up, generally micro magic, if we can make it into a category, and that's my passion.
Okay, cool. And since you missed the first point, what are the first rubber band trick that you started doing, just with elastic bands? Danny's and mine was the the band jumping from one finger to the other, from sorry, not one finger, from two fingers to here. Was that yours too? And then I moved into Crazy Man's handcuffs.
I think that was the one, but I did it
Yeah.
not with a rubber band, but with bands the girls use to tie the hair.
Oh,
The hair.
hair bands. Okay, interesting.
With the hair bands, exactly.
Hair bands, yes. Now, have you all met each other? Did you all see each
No.
other at Blackpool?
I'm not sure.
Not sure. Okay, doesn't
Me
matter.
neither.
The whole point is all about coming and making friends. You know, maybe after this, I'm going to put all your Instagram links in the description of this video below, so people are watching this, they can check you out. Also, you all can check each other out. So that's the whole point with this, is making friends. And who is your favorite in band magic?
I do not really have a favorite. I was very eager, first of all, to finally have the chance to join one of the meetings you organized, because many of them I just missed.
Yeah, you missed the coin magic one. Yeah.
Yes, very unfortunate. I saw it 17 hours afterwards.
Ah, man, I need to do it 24 hours. Maybe I'll do it like a day before that I'm going to post, because normally I post usually in the night or in the evening, and then I'm saying, oh, next day at 3 o'clock, this is the thing. And I think that's the thing. A lot of my followers, they see my stories quite late and they miss it. So next time when I'm talking about card magic and stuff, I'll do it on a different time. I'll do it like 3-4 days before, maybe I'll do that. So yeah, good tip for me. And
yeah,
so
looking forward to it. And rubber magic, I just it's not something I've dealt with extensively. I've done a couple of tricks, but generally, since I've been doing more coin magic and from time to time having rubber bands on my hand is also not very comfortable. So I am not carrying them daily. So I also haven't gotten proficient in rubber band magic. So I've learned a couple of things. Mostly I learned many things in the beginning from Chris Ramsey and his YouTube channel, because he showed a couple of tricks some time ago. And then there are some other tricks which I cannot name exactly now. But as I said, I'm not the best rubber band magician.
Sure, that's all right. You don't have to be the best. You know, in fact, I was telling Danny earlier at Blackpool, I saw one of his videos, one of his effects that he created, which he's going to show you later. If you haven't seen him, you'll see some of his effects, and I think that was just blew me away. Now, maybe am I saying this because I'm a magician? Do you think when you perform in the real world, obviously you do some cards, you'll do some coins. I mean, I do rubber bands. Do you think people actually like elastic bands, or is it more of a magician's thing?
I think they're fascinated.
Especially is that because of it's different?
Because it's something familiar.
Because
rubber bands, we all use them. We all have them on our desk such as coins. That's why I also like coin magic. It's something that we know how it works, how it behaves.
Yeah,
and
good point.
Rubber bands, they're elastic, but if you break them, you should either tie them or it doesn't work. You can't just and connect it, maybe.
Yeah.
In similar things. And when we can demonstrate such an effect to a member of the audience or just a lay person somewhere, they're astonished by the impossibility of this ordinary object they are so familiar with.
Yeah.
So I think rubber bands are quite a good and essential tool in the magic repertoire of a magician.
Okay, that's very good. Danny, you have anything to say about that? Because I think Tony hit the points directly on. He hit the nail on the coffin.
No, I can something add here. It's that when I perform rubber band magic, most rubber band effects happen like in this frame. So when you perform close up or in a cocktail party, it's very visual, not only for the people you perform for, but also for all the people around it. So, you know, cards are mostly down, you know, at the crotch area. And rubber band is 9 of the 10 times, it's very high up.
Okay.
So for me, all the effects I perform with rubber bands are like in the face frame.
Yeah.
And if people come from behind or from a distance, they can see the link of rubber band. They see the effect from like a mile away, where you do other close-up magic. You've of course going across to this here, but with most card effects are down. You know, it's down at the hand.
Yeah.
So people looking down.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, especially what Tony said earlier, when you look at an object, you see what the object is. You know it's stretchy. You know that means, you know, the effects that can be done with that. That means a band can interlace each other. It can penetrate something. It can break and restore. You know, you can levitate bands. So there's so many effects when it comes to rubber band magic. I don't do a lot of those effects. I know some of them, but I think I do something that fits in my act. What is the best elastic band magic that you have seen? Maybe not you do, but what have you seen that is the most impressive?
For me, the one I do and I've seen, I really like, not to put something, but I like my effect because it's very visual.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't want to praise myself here. I'm not that kind of guy, but for me, it's like the visual and the easiness. It's like, it happens up here.
Yeah.
So visual, and everyone understands without a word of speaking what's happening.
I think you might have to show us, because Tony's probably wondering what is that he's talking about. So is it possible for you to show us that?
Yes, of course. So we all remember this from Blackpool.
I was about to comment on the most impressive thing that I've seen, and just by you right now showing this rod, I would say that I think it was you who I actually saw in Blackpool.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. Yeah.
So I will show you here it's a straw, so it's a metal reusable straw, but it just looks fancy.
Yeah.
And like that's one, and that's two.
Come on! Wow! I mean, you see why YouTube, you see why I love this. And that's absolutely, I think this was the best thing that I've seen at Blackpool, and I mentioned that in my vlog too. So thank you for showing this to us. Wow. Now also since we're going to come back to Tony in a minute, but first since you showed that, you said you created that stuff. Now is there any DVD that you have that people can buy this effect? Where can they learn this?
It's a download.
It's a download. Okay.
It's called Lazy Man's Penetration.
Lazy Man's Penetration. Okay. Okay, perfect. So I'll put your Instagram links. If anybody wants to learn this, they can go and check your Instagram. Let's go with Tony now. Is there anything that you like? What's the best thing that you've seen with elastic bands? And if you have something, please plug something that you have.
First of all, I can't follow. No way.
The
best thing I've seen was something I saw this year in Blackpool.
Okay.
And it was that thing.
Okay, so there we go. We both agree with the same thing. I mean, this is unbelievable. It's so magical. I think what I do is more skill. Like when I interlace my bands and my fingers, it's not as magical. I mean, the audience watching this, they go, "Oh, that's very clever. That's very skillful." You know, it's a different effect for the people. What I've just seen you do was pure magic for me. Right. And and then also I think another one for lay people, this is it doesn't have to be rubber band magic, but it's basically when you toss the rubber band and it floats in midair, right? With the you know, I think for lay people, when they see that, they go, wow. Maybe for me, because I know the method, it's not as impressive, because I know the method. That's why I'm saying, as a magician point of it, for me, that what I saw was beautiful.
To add another thing is with rubber bands, is what I like to do is, you know, rubber bands is for me a close-up linking rings. You know, every spectator seen the linking rings on stage. The method is out there. You know, lay people know how it works actually. And with a rubber band, it's funny. You can say like, look, I have the linking rings right here, but they're just smaller. It's just for you. It's a personal thing. And you notice there are no extra holes except for these ones right here. So I can't possibly link them. But you know, we're magicians, and you see the stage stuff right here. I actually can link them, because if you just give a little breeze of a touch, you see, they're actually linked. And just like on stage, when they're linked, they can actually also unlink right here.
Wow. I mean, everything you do, Danny, is just amazing. Wow.
Thanks.
I mean, I know, I would say something similar to what you're doing, but I do it nowhere as clean as yours. What about you, Toni? You've seen I probably learned the one where the bands pass through. I think it was a Chris Kenner thing called Missing Link.
Yeah, Missing Link.
Missing Link, yeah.
Yeah, I can show you.
Okay. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, Missing Link is a little bit more, you need to have a little misdirection, but it's gonna look like this. So, and then you're gonna touch right here, and the beautiful thing is that you can let it loose.
Yeah.
And you can show, and then from here you just take it in there.
So that's the one I learned, but what you did earlier was just beautiful. I love the hand transition. Now, how do you learn? What's your creativity thought? It's a question for both of you. What is your creativity behind this? Do you sit with the band? Do you think of the effect first, what you want to do? Or do you think what properties the band has? Maybe you have different answers on this one. I don't know.
Now, for me, the answer is, I saw Bacon Fire, his DVD, Band on Fire.
Okay.
It's an amazing rubber band DVD. And he had Lazy Go on there. And Lazy Go was, it's the same effect as mine, but only one layer. So it's only the top layer. And for me, it was, I loved it. It was amazing. But the question popped in my head, why not go through both? So the question for me was like, why is it only the first band? You know, it's your end in a really weird position with the pen in the middle band, and that's it. And for me to evolve and to complete the effect, in my mind was, you need to go to the second layer as well. And after that, it was like, okay, I know what I want now. How do I get there? And then it was just, I knew the method he used. So there was a little figuring out, puzzling around how to get it to work, because with rubber bands, it easily can get stuck or it can get in the way of each other with the hookups. But it's after that, you just gotta play with it. You have a rubber band, you have a pen, and you figure every possible way out is possible.
What I also like about it is the way you set it up by putting the pen in your mouth and then going in. Everything is so natural, because whatever move you have to do or whatever, it's just the way it's in your mouth, and then you come here and it's, I think that is also so beautiful, the way you know, I don't know, just the way you do it. Anyway, enough of praising you. But also, Toni, you're also a YouTuber, aren't you? Because you film for your YouTube channel too?
I film, but I'm not really expanding on my YouTube channel currently, so I wouldn't say about that. About Rubberband Magic, since I haven't created my own effects, and in no way something as good as what Dana has has created.
Me too. I would say me too.
I would say I would just maybe try to add onto the subject of creating and the creative process. And of course, I mean, Danny said it perfectly. You just take a rubber band and see what's possible. And I think everyone could use that with any kind of object, and it shouldn't be only rubber bands, because okay, with rubber bands, I have not created anything, but I tried to create something with a rubber band and a ring. And I tried tying it around, putting it, taking it out, tearing it apart. And at the end, I exchanged the rubber band for a string, but still I created then an effect. So that's why I wouldn't like share it now. First of all, I also don't have it on me. But you just try out things and then look for an effect and try to make it possible also. That's how I created an effect with cards. I saw an effect, I thought how it is done, but I couldn't accept that it could be done this way. So I found my way, and actually it turned out that I created my original effect, and I'm very proud of it. So just push forward to the boundaries of what's possible.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
For me, the thing is to creating in general. I know you're gonna do one separate, but to give people find stuff. You know, if you're working with rubber bands, look for rubber bands. Like find different rubber bands, find different color. Do your research. Like find effects. Not for the method, but look up on your favorite magic dealer rubber bands. Look what's out there. Have a little research. Just I like this. I don't like this. Why do I like it? And then have a little research about what's out there. And maybe you like something, and what Toni said, maybe you like the effect but not the method. And then you can think about the method. And sometimes you like the method but not the effect. And then you can work the other way around.
Okay, well, that's a great idea. So in closing, do you have any recommendations for someone beginners? Like you just said, go and search. But on the top of your mind, do you have any books or DVDs? I think the first thing that I learned when it comes to me with rubber bands was Dan Harlan. It was a DVD from Dan Harlan on rubber bands. I can't get the name of the DVD, but I think you just Google Dan Harlan. And is it Extreme
Rubber Band?
Extreme. Probably, yeah. It's the one where he had the big bowl of rubber bands also in it, the last effect. But yeah, do you have any recommendations for people watching? Obviously, they're going to get your stuff, but if you have any recommendations.
Yeah, watch the Penguin Lives of Joe Rhineflesh and Henshin Chen.
Okay.
Those are two. Then you have like, I think in total 5 hours of rubber band stuff.
Wow. So there's a lot.
But if you want, there's something. The Joe Rhineflesh has a nice 3-part act from like beginner, intermediate, and advanced. So you can just pick it up. And Hansen, he goes a little bit all over the place through difficult. Now the act is really streamlined, but the difficulty is like this easy, that's hard. But I think for those two lectures, you can get everything you need to start rubber band magic.
Okay. Excellent. And Toni, what about you?
I cannot recommend. I don't have such a library in my head about rubber band magic, but I'm sure what I'm gonna get myself, and that's gonna be a download, and that's gonna be Lazy Man's Penetration.
There we go. That's perfect. You already got one customer, Daddy. but anyways, I do want to say thank you for taking the time, both of you. Thank you very much for taking the time and doing this. I hope you watching at YouTube have enjoyed this, or you've learned something from this video. Until then, I'll see you in the next video. So bye, everyone. Take care.